So, after a very exciting Australian GP, here are my winners and losers from this race. So, starting off with the winners from the Australian GP, I have as winner McLaren. Yeah, they just look so fast, and tire degradation is almost zero for them. It's almost zero. I think if Norris didn't put it in the grass, which caused damage to his floor, I think McLaren. Yeah, I think the end result could have been a lot more for Lando Norris. And yeah, with the Chinese GP coming up, a dry race, I think the McLaren is only going to be stronger and stronger. So yeah, the biggest winner from this race has to be McLaren. So starting with the first loser, I have Ferrari. I mean, like performance-wise, they look like they are on the back foot compared to Mercedes, McLaren, and Red Bull. Yeah, they just looked slow compared to them. They were battling with VCARB and with Williams throughout the whole race. And the most insane thing to me is they told Leclerc exactly the weather, but when Hamilton asked the team, they didn't even know, and they were even questioning themselves which weather was exactly coming.
Is more rain coming?
Negative. Just this. Hopefully. Let's see. Still raining in the pit lane.
And yeah, they also left the cars out too long to make the switch to the inner tire, and that ruined their whole race. So yeah, the first loser for me is definitely Ferrari. So next up, as winners, I have Williams. Albon qualified in P6, had a very strong race. Performance-wise, Williams looks like they're going to be top of the midfield pack, troubling the top teams. Sometimes they even did it in qualifying Saturday, qualifying ahead of both Ferraris. And on Sunday, despite Carlos Sainz crashing out, he held immediately from the pit wall, helping with Albon his strategy, making those pit stop calls. And yeah, I just think team-wise, performance-wise, they look very strong. And yeah, I put them as winners from the Australian GP. So next up, as losers, I have Haas. Yeah, we expected much more from them. They looked very strong after testing, but when the Australian GP qualifying started, they qualified at the back of the field, and yeah, race-wise, they couldn't do anything. They looked just very slow, ending up in the last two positions. And yeah, I'm just very disappointed in Haas. I expect them to be right in the midfield mix, but yeah, from what we have seen last weekend, it doesn't look that good for Haas. So maybe the Chinese GP will suit them better, but yeah. For now, it doesn't look anywhere near good for Haas. So next up, as winners, I have Mercedes. I think they had a very solid weekend. George ending up on the podium. Antonelli, his comeback drive was insane. It was just impressive. And yeah, they barely made any mistakes. I think they have a pretty good driver lineup. They are already ahead of Ferrari performance-wise. And yeah, I think they just have a good baseline on both terms, drivers wise, car wise, to get better and better throughout the season. So moving on to the drivers, first up I have Kimi Antonelli. Yeah, we just need to talk about this guy. Very special talent, coming back from P16 to P4 on your debut in those conditions. I think that's just so impressive. Yeah, he becomes the second youngest all-time F1 point scorer, the third youngest driver to start an F1 GP. Yeah, I think what else can we say? I also think his move around the outside of Alexander Albon, that save he had in those mixed conditions. Yeah, and the only mistake he made was a spin on the first few laps. But apart from that, I think we have a special talent in Formula One. So first up, as loser, I have Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, I think being stuck behind a V-Carb and a Williams for almost the whole race, I think in the Ferrari, that's just not it. And yeah, also on the last lap, being overtaken by Oscar Piastri. Yeah, I just think it couldn't be any more worse than Lewis Hamilton could have imagined himself. So yeah, I have to put Lewis Hamilton in the losers category from this Australian GP weekend. So next up as winner I have Nico Hulkenberg. Yeah, he obviously qualified behind his teammate, but I think in this race he showed once again the experience he has, making zero mistakes, driving a pretty silent race, but scoring those important points, ending up in P7. Having scored already more points than Sauber had throughout the whole of last season. I think Nico Hulkenberg had a pretty strong drive. So next up as loser I have Oscar Piastri. I think with the car he had, McLaren should have at least got a 1-2. And yeah, I think Piastri with that mistake, being too focused on Lando is breaking points, couldn't save the car like Lando did. Yeah, I think he just bottled crucial points. And despite his comeback, I have to put him in the losers list from this race. So next up as winner I have Yuki Tsunoda. Yeah, he qualified ahead of both Ferraris and ahead of Alexander Albon. I think he drove a pretty strong race, keeping Ferrari behind him, also overtaking Leclerc on pure pace. And yeah, I think he had a very strong drive. Got screwed by his team strategy wise, but I think if he keeps this performance on, yeah, I think he will put himself in a great position for a seat for 2026, which in my opinion is likely going to be McLaren, and Stroll moving to another racing series, because Aston Martin are going to have Honda engines. And yeah, I think Yuki is a very strong driver. So with this performance, I have to put him in the winners list from this Australian GP weekend. So next up, and yes, I know this isn't a driver, but I have to put him in there. I think as loser, Helmut Marko. I think, yeah, with this comment about Bortoleto being a B driver, Hadjar calling him out for putting on a crying show, I think, yeah, this is very low, very sad to see him doing that. And yeah, I have to put him in the loser list from this weekend. So next up as winner I have Lance Stroll, qualified P13 behind his teammate, just like Nico Hulkenberg. Yeah, I think he had a similar drive to him, unnoticed, but getting those points for Aston Martin. Yeah, and I think in the wet, most of the times that's a condition Stroll knows how to perform. He got some crucial points for Aston Martin, and yeah, that's why I put him in the winners list from this weekend. So let me know what you guys think. Comment below, subscribe, and see you all in the next video.